Hello and welcome to another episode of Friday Fiber Chat. My name is Sarah. This channel is where I share all about my crafty projects. It's mostly knitting, but I like to sprinkle in the other fiber arts as well. And these videos are short weekly videos I publish every Friday between my monthly regular full form podcast episodes that cover whatever kind of fiber arts topic is on my mind. And today we're going to talk all about my favorite socks. So it is officially Socktober, which means just we love to knit socks in October. I think there's nothing formal about it. It's just a time to knit socks, get some new socks ready for the fall. That's all there is to it. It's a time to be excited about knitting socks. I have to apologize in advance because my voice is probably a little nasally. I am getting a cold, so I'm sorry about that, but I will be recording this video and then sitting down to rest and knit for the rest of the weekend and hopefully recover. So I still wanted to hop on and talk Socktober with you today, but I'll keep this one short and sweet, and I do apologize for the state of my voice. But that being said, let's talk Socktober. So I thought today what I would do to celebrate is just kind of show you all of my current sock whips. There are 5 of them. And I'm not going to go in any particular order. Some of these you will have never seen before. I've cast them on fairly recently. Some you may have seen on the podcast. So let's just jump into it. I feel like I have a fun variety here. So the first one I have to show you is this pair. So this is the first sock of the pair. This is the Lamond socks from Summer Lee's book, The Sock Project. I'm knitting my way through that book. I'm knitting all the patterns in that book, and right now I am on the like textured section, so like slip stitches and knit and purl textures. That is the section that this pattern is in. So you can see it uses these really fun slip stitches to create this kind of checkerboard effect. And the yarns I'm using are from the Wandering Flock Sock Club. I keep wanting to say the Wandering Sock, but that's not right. Wandering Flock Sock Club that I've met in this year. And this came as a little set with 2 50-gram skeins in these 2 colors here. I'm not sure if they have names. Yes, Apricot and Dusty Blue are the names, but I do think that they're exclusive to the club. So I'm not sure if you can get these on their own, but Wandering Flock has such gorgeous yarns. I love all of their colors. This is their baby paca base, so it's 50% extra fine merino, 30% baby alpaca, and 20% nylon. And the alpaca gives it kind of a little bit of a halo. I think you can see that there, and a really nice hand feel. These colors, I wasn't really sure about them because they're gonna kind of cancel each other out. Like from afar, they're gonna really blend together, but up close you can really see the striping. So these are going to be a gift for my partner as part of his box of socks this year. He really likes both of these colors. I think they look really cool. I like how subtle they are, but you definitely don't get a ton of credit for the contrast here. I'd love to knit another pair of these someday for myself using a really high contrast like pink and red like Summer uses in her version, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you definitely see it a little more on the foot where it's just striped, but yeah, I finished the heel. I'm now working on the foot for this first one. And I will say the slip stitches restrict the stretch of this pattern a little bit. So if you're between sizes, I would definitely recommend going up or even going up an entire size from what you usually knit, just to make sure that you have enough room. It's kind of like strand color work on the sock in that way. It really restricts the stretch. So I think these will be just fine. I went up half a size for him. But yeah, that's the first one. This is a really fun pattern to knit. It's easy to memorize, and it has a really rhythmic like pattern to it. And you really don't have to worry too much about jogless stripes. Like you can see a little bit that they're offset, but the slip stitch there kind of helps to hide that a little bit. All right. Second one, also new cast on. Also from Summer Lee's book. What are these ones called? These are the Luna socks. Here's what I have so far. I'm also on the first one. Kind of a crazy color combo. And that's the whole thing with this pattern. It's like a crazy color blocked sock. So I'm using this really pretty neutral for my main body of the sock. I think this is called Toasted Neutral or something like that. It's School of Sweet Georgia. I've used this for a bunch of different socks at this point. It's a standard like 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and the rest of what I'm using here are scraps from Stash. So there's a really long ribbed cuff on this that has these two different colors. So I started with this bright red, I think this is Nitpick Stroll, and then I have this really fun aqua color that I do not remember where it's from, and then the neutral. And in the neutral there's this really beautiful knit pearl texture, and it's kind of an offset broken rib, but it creates this really nice texture. So you can see I've put in stitch markers here where I'm going to do an afterthought heel, and then now that I'm knitting the foot, the texture is only on the front. So my heel is going to be this really fun limey color, and then my toe is going to be hot pink. So I think these are going to be really fun. I love the combination of the neutral main color with the crazy poppy brights. So these are the other two colors. Really fun, kind of wild. These will probably be house socks, but I mean, if you wore it with a boot, you'd really just see like this sticking out at the top. So yeah, I'm enjoying these. This is another great mindless texture. It's only a 4-row repeat, so once you get in the hang of it, it goes pretty quick. Really enjoying those. And these ones are for me. Okay, next I have another really fun pair you've probably seen before if you've seen the podcast, and I haven't made a ton of progress on them lately, but I'm hoping to get back to them maybe this weekend. I am knitting the Herding Hins socks, also for my partner Troy. Here's where I'm at. This is the first one. I have these great chicken needle point protectors on here too. So the color scheme here is inspired by a video game that my partner likes called 368 Chickens. It's just like a free online game. It's kind of like Tetris or Candy Crush, but it's with chickens. So I modeled the colors of the sock and the chickens after that game. So I'm using the 2-color version of the chart. There is also a 3-color version where the beaks are a different color, but I just felt like there was a lot going on here already, so I just made it easy for myself and used the 2-color version. And I think it looks so cute. So they're all still getting the red comb and the yellow feet. This one, the feet are the same color as the body, but the rest they're different. So these are all the colors of the chickens. So for the next 2 on the foot, I'm going to be repeating. And I think I'm going to do another brown and then end with a white. Or maybe do another white and then end with a brown. I haven't decided yet. Please weigh in. Should I go brown and then white, or white and then brown? Let me know what you think. Hopefully I only need 2 more on the foot, but these are so fun to knit. They're so addictive. I will sit down and do like a whole repeat of the motif, and that takes usually like a little under an hour at a pretty leisurely pace. So I am a little bit worried about the fit. It's my first time knitting a pair of all over colorwork socks since I refined my colorwork sock technique. I've knit one other pair of all over colorwork socks that were meant to be for myself, and they were way too small. So they are hung on my wall now as an art piece, but I'm hopeful that these are gonna work out and eager to get back to them. So definitely let me know what you think. This is a short row heel, which I'm usually not a huge fan of, but I talked on the podcast about how Charlotte Stone's method for this gives such a nice result. Like there's no holes, there's no gaping on either side. It looks really, really clean. So from now on, if I'm doing a short row heel, I'll definitely be using this method, and I think it looks great. So yeah, loving it. The toe will also be in this brighter blue. I really need to get back to these because they are super fun. Okay. Next one is super easy, fun pair, and I'm on the second sock, but the first one's not totally finished yet. So last holiday, I made an advent project, a cardigan, oh gosh, what was it called? Daft Days cardigan by Rebecca Clow. I can put a photo of it in here. And I had 2 sets of mini skeins that I used for the contrast colors, and I had just a little bit left of each color. And I know I wanted to save those to make a pair of socks, and I was planning to use them to teach myself how to do 2 at a time magic loop sock knitting, because that is something I have not tried yet. And they were already broken up like into separate little balls, so it would have been perfect for that. But when it came down to it, I was really just craving a vanilla sock. So I went ahead and cast on using my trusted old DPNs. And here is the first sock tube. So I had this leftover, oh, this is a mess, of this really pretty purple in stash, and I'm getting down to not having much left. So I started at the cuff, and I wasn't sure how far the colors were gonna get me. So I just started knitting. I did 8 row stripes because that's how much I could get out of each of the colors that I had left over. And then 8 rows of the main color in between. And here's the tube it got me. So it's not gonna be a super tall sock. I'm guessing the heel will be cut in somewhere in this area. But I think it looks so pretty. I love how the stripe colors look with the dark purple main color. And I'm also not sure if I'm gonna have enough of the main color to do the heel. So that's why I haven't cut in the heel yet. This is a true afterthought heel. I'm gonna have to do a measurement to figure out where I'll be cutting it in. And I hope I have enough to do it in the dark purple, but if I don't, I'll just find another like pinky purple in my stash that'll be really cute. And I have also started the second one and made pretty good progress. So yeah, I'm about halfway through this one, and I'm really hoping to finish those up this month. That'll probably be the next pair that I finish. The yarns, the purple, I do remember. The main color, the dark purple, is Ritual Dye's Maiden sock base, and the color was Sagittarius. So special to me as a Sagittarius. And the minis were the Happy Place mini skein set from Ruby and Roses. I don't think it's something they have in stock now, but I did really love the colors. I have to caveat Ruby and Roses yarn. I've talked about this a few times on here. They use a scented wool wash, so I had kind of a bad reaction to it. I was a little bit allergic to it. So I just like to say that for anyone that doesn't know. Their yarns are beautiful. I've met Addie in person. She's super sweet, but I try to avoid buying their yarns now because the wool wash that they use to treat them, it does kind of irritate my sinuses. So just a disclaimer. All right, and the last pair of socks I'm working on are living in my little O Snap bag. This is like a perfect sock size project bag. There's all kinds of pockets in here. And these are a sample for a class I'm going to be teaching in the winter, probably like February or March, at So to Speak, which is where I'm currently teaching knitting classes locally. This is my Sock Knitting 102 class. So 101 is top down, DK weight, DPNs, heel flap, and gusset. Sock Knitting 102 is toe up, fingering weight, magic loop, afterthought heel. So totally different set of techniques, which I think is so fun with socks that you can do that. So I'm working on the shop sample, and the yarns I'm using are a sock set that they carry there. These are the 2 yarns. I think these are also from Sweet Georgia. Yes, and the colorway is Teleco, and this is an 80 wool 20 nylon blend. Really pretty colors. And here's where I'm at. So I haven't made a ton of progress, to be honest. I don't have like a firm deadline for these. I would definitely like to finish them before the end of the year, but if the class isn't going to be until like March, I probably don't really need to finish them until like mid-January. So I definitely have some time. I think this is kind of the last priority as far as my sock knitting because I'm just a little more excited about all the others. So I'm putting in a few rows on it here or there when I'm like walking on the treadmill, or I really just need some super plain knitting. It's kind of my car project right now as well, but yeah, nothing too crazy. But I am writing the pattern up for these as I go. I write the pattern for the class. So just testing my own pattern, checking measurements, and knitting a nice simple pair of socks. So I'm excited for that class, and I probably need to get a move on these around like the holiday break. So yeah, those are all the socks I'm knitting right now. I'd love to hear if you have any socks on your needles, if you cast on anything fun. Last year for Socktober, I went totally wild, and on October 1st, I cast on 6 different pairs of socks. So I can link that video up here and down below as well if you're interested. That was a really fun one. But this year I cast on, these 2 were both new cast-ons in October, but the rest were already ongoing. So I have a lot of other new cast-ons I'm excited to share with you on the next podcast episode. I should probably tell you what I'm wearing because somebody will probably ask. This is the Kentra by Rebecca Clow. I was a test knitter for this sweater, and it is probably my most worn sweater, or it's very high up there. I love this sweater. The main color I used was Harrisville Daylights in the color, the purple one. I don't remember the name, but it has like the little hints of purple. I don't know if that really comes through on the camera, but there's just like a dusting of purple. And then all of the colors in the yoke were woolen yarn scraps that I had in stash. So I had like a little bit of purples, blues, greens, pink, and brown, and I'm just really pleased with this sweater. I wear it all the time. So comfortable, and I think there's probably another one in my future. The fit is great. It's a circular yoke, but it also has raglan shaping, so you don't get that like really circular hem that you oftentimes get with a round yoke. So definitely recommend, super size inclusive. It's an awesome pattern. All right, with that, I'm getting all stuffy, so I will sign off here, but thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend and you can enjoy some knitting and some fall weather, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.